one of my more popular episodes of when I'm not podcasting was when I talked about how Uber Eats was going to start delivering alcohol. That was something that everybody got all up and at and was really excited about. So we talked about it, and now they're doing more. So Uber recently agreed to buying the alcohol delivery service Drizzly, Drizly, for $1.1 billion. So they're going to get that, and Drizzly's marketplace will be integrated into the Uber Eats app, and the deal is expected to close within the first half of 2021. Now, I'll tell you what, it's interesting of what people have been doing to go and buy alcohol through Uber. And here's one of the things I will tell you that was very interesting. I actually had a delivery I had last week when I was going to go out. And what happened was, because when you have Uber Eats going to deliver to you alcohol, you're required to go ahead and have a driver's license or some form of ID. I think it's a government issue ID is the idea. So passport or driver's license will do. Here's the thing. What takes the time more than anything else is when you have to go ahead and take pictures after you go ahead and make the delivery for the passenger or for the customer. You're dropping off the delivery. You got to make sure they're sober. That's one thing they always talk about. That's the first button you got to push. After that, you got to take a picture of the ID. Well, this past time, I saw the young lady that was actually getting the alcohol from me. She was of age. Okay. What happened was that she used her passport instead. Because what happened was, with a driver's license, they expect you to go ahead and take pictures on both sides of the driver's license, which takes longer. Really, you're saving yourself probably like 2 or 3 minutes. So when you want to have a short visit from the Uber Eats delivery driver, to not give them any reason to go ahead and say, you know what, I'm not going to go ahead and give this to you. So the idea is, to make the transaction quick, you want to be able to go and say, okay, then I'm going to just give you the passport. Which, if you already have a passport and it is active and it's not expired, then use that instead. Because then all you have to do is just take a picture of the passport, done, and that's it. Pretty cool idea to go and just have that and just realize that's something you can do. That's one of the things you want to make sure of. So now here's what this means. Drizzly, which was a standalone app, is still going to be standalone. So the Drizzly app will still be around, but they're also going to complete it now, integrate it into the Uber Eats app. So Drizzly already has alcohol delivery service in the U.S. It's available in 1,400 cities. So now more people are probably using Uber Eats to go ahead and use the app here because they'll have all the Drizzly locations of where they can go and get alcohol. So there's what we got. And the deal's supposed to close within the first half of 2021, and that 90% of the consideration will be paid to Drizzly. It'll be Uber common stock. The balance will be paid in cash. And this is after they already bought Postmates. And this is when they first tried to go and buy Grubhub and did not work. Then they ended up buying Postmates and they got that as well. Then Uber's doing more things as well when it comes to transportation. They also bought Lime, which is an electric bike and scooter service. They also have a self-driving unit, which is Advanced Technologies Group. They sold that to a startup competitor back in December, and that was worth $4 billion at the time. There's so much more that they're doing right now. They also have a Uber Elevate, a flying taxi business that we're going to do, but they also pushed that off to somebody else. Uber's making so many different changes altogether. When you look at it, they are Lyft. Lyft has been behind the game altogether. It's not bad, but again, what they have so far, they have the ride hailing, which is just the bread and butter, then the food delivery, package delivery with there's like their courier service. Then you have courier service. Then you have freight transportation, and then their partnership with Lime, electric bike and motorized scooter rental. They're making money off of everything. They're just really just kicking. And what's also happening too is that we're starting to see more people starting to branch out. So Uber for everything. A New York Times article came out talking about how Uber and Instacart are branching out and how this will shake out for the rest of everybody else. So the idea is that, getting people or groceries to the destination, restaurant food, prescription drugs, home goods, pets food, and convenience store items. Uber, we're talking about getting Drizzly. Could you imagine the potential if courier services delivered almost anything under the sun? Will it work, and is it a good thing? And that's what they're talking about here in this story. Now, one of the things that also is being done that I'm going to be recording about, and by the time I put this episode out, Everybody will have seen the Super Bowl commercial with Wayne and Garth. The Wayne's World, parody is brought, or the segment from Saturday Night Live from the early '90s is brought back, or actually late '80s into early '90s. They're bringing that back to do that to get more people to go and buy local, and that's the new thing right now that Uber wants to do is they want to go and support local restaurants. Which, remember, some of those local restaurants will probably be ghost kitchens or virtual restaurants, like we talked about in a previous episode. Just go back and looking about that, about virtual restaurants. I talked about that on a previous episode. I went on a podcasting all about that. So here's what they're doing. Again, being able to go and have these couriers be able to go and pick up whatever you want. Passengers, deliver burritos, drop off cases of beer. It could be good for local businesses in our communities. Imagine if a local toy shop or grocery store could more easily serve the people shopping in person and those who prefer delivery. Our favorite businesses can have a second life without going broke competing against Amazon or shipping orders hundreds of miles by email. Now, doesn't mean, and the thing is, some of these places that might not want to go ahead and pay the fee of Uber Eats, what happens is some of these local businesses, make sure to keep this as well, you small businesses, you do not have to go ahead and take the fees. If you want, you can hold back. One of my pizza guy I go to, I was asking about this because I was talking about how, there's so many other places right now that are offering services for delivery. And obviously they do delivery of their own for pizza delivery. But, they only serve a certain market. They only serve so many different, a certain radius of their local community to go and take care of the orders. But what they can do, which is what people were always complaining about before, was, can you please deliver out to me? Well, now you can with, I think it's Grubhub. I think Grubhub actually is the one now that already has your menu. And for whatever reason, my pizza guy, allowed them to go ahead and put it on there. But then Grubhub was trying to go ahead and charge them a fee to do that. I said, no, you want to list us and you want to go ahead and get orders for us. That's fine. But it's going to be a barter. You're just going to go ahead and do it. That's all there is to it. You charge for what you get from the driver or from the passenger or the customer. You're going to get their money, but you're not going to get it from us, which I think is a fair deal. So what happened there is, Grubhub will go and take somebody that might be 45 minutes away, but it'll be the responsibility of Grubhub to go ahead and pick up the order and take it. But either which way, the order might come in as it does for my pizza guy. He'll take it, whatever, and he'll just like go along like anything else, and he'll just put the order up, have it ready to go, and the driver's just going to have to come and get it. That's it. So it's not a bad thing for them to have if they want to do it that way. So it's also possible that the Uber model for anything won't work out unless it might entrench the worst aspects of delivery by app companies. Okay, well, it really just depends on the drivers. Again, it's just Uber needs to make sure that whoever is driving is copacetic for it. And usually they got a good system behind it. They got good background checks. For me, they're not going to have any problems with me. And also, you just check on and remember, more important than anything else, by all means, please check the ratings of the drivers you're getting. It's really that simple. If you're getting somebody that is a 4.9 and above, they're going to be probably pretty understanding of what they need to do as an Uber driver. Okay, that's pretty much said. If they're at 4.85 or a little bit around 4.8, they're probably acceptable. But remember that Uber can't accept anybody lower than that. And if there are issues from before and you see that the rating is currently go down, then you might want to just switch to somebody else. Cancel the order, start it back up again, and let somebody else handle the order. It's just things like that. Or you could probably contact Uber on the app and just say, hey, I'm not sure about this driver. I don't like his rating. Can you please get somebody else? Can you go ahead and change the ride to somebody else? And they'll just cancel that order for the driver and let somebody else go ahead and pick up the order. I think you can do that as well. I mean, Uber is that convenient about that. Just saying. I'm not trying to go in be rah-rah for Uber, but I'm just saying, I used to drive for Lyft as well. And for every 10 rides I would get for Uber or Lyft, 9 of them were Uber. So I might still have Lyft as an option, but I haven't been on them in over 6 months. Just because. I'm just better off using Uber. Because Uber gives me more deliveries, probably pays a little bit better. And, it's just, they got a better thing going. And it's not against Lyft. If they give me more, I would go with them. But really, Uber just has so many different things. And I actually like the deliveries by food because nobody in the car. I'm not worried too much about, anything. And I don't have to be in such a super hurry to get around someplace. And, really, nothing against having passengers in the car. I like that too, but I do like the delivery stuff. You know, it is nice where I go ahead and I had one restaurant one day. They went ahead and asked me to go ahead and take some valet parking tickets. And it was this company that was too small. There was these two local restaurants. The guy had a little local chain going on. And I guess they ran out of valet parking tickets, and he needed to have these particular parking tickets ready to go. He needed for another restaurant for that evening of service. So their idea was, okay, give the Uber driver the valet parking tickets and have them delivered to the other restaurant. So I had to go from Boca Raton to North Palm Beach, which is about 30 minutes on the highway. And I got my way up there. Wasn't any super hurry, but I just knew I had to get there in a reasonable amount of time, and I did. And you know what? I got tipped for it as well. So like the Uber guy knew that, or the customer knew that, hey man, you know, I'm doing what's solid by getting this up there in a reasonable amount of time. And it was taken care of. They were very happy about it, and I got tipped well. So actually, I got tipped on the app and in cash. Very interesting. And by the way, Uber drivers, please do me a favor. And if you haven't been doing this already, when you see you received a $3 tip, $3.05 tip, whatever, click through, go to your trip summary, and go to your recent activity, and by the rides that you get a tip for, please hit the send tip button, the blue send tip button. Press it for every ride. We want to make sure that the tips keep coming. So show appreciation for the tips. All right. And when you're getting one in the cash in the hand, I'm always, God bless you. Hey, thank you. Appreciation. Please do that. This is for all the Uber drivers out there. Please do that for the sake of the tips. Just saying. That's what we want. And just remember, maybe more things are going to happen soon enough where we're going to have more things for Uber coming up down the line. But it's a matter of, hey, with all this good stuff coming in and all these opportunities, need to keep it up. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, we'll leave it there. I'll talk to you next time.